Up, everybody? We have Jay, and he's a phenomenal student of MLP, and he actually used to play professional baseball. Jay, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So Jay's going to kind of tell his story, how much money he's made, what he's done, and how he's been so successful. So first, I'll start off with a simple question. When did you join the program, and what was your experience with making money online or making money with sports cards? Did you know anything about it? Did you not know anything? You tell me.
Okay. I joined the program in early May. I had dabbled a little bit as a kid in collecting cards. I collected when I was a kid, but as I got more serious into playing baseball, I kind of just put that on hold. So I'd been absent from the hobby since I was about like 10, really. So honestly, I hadn't really kept up. I didn't really know much about the grading process. I was one of the ones that always thought it cost an arm and a leg to grade. So I never really got into it really. But yeah, I joined. I had a little knowledge, but not much about how to evaluate a card properly, which the program absolutely helped me tremendously with it.
Yeah.
Honestly. So
yeah, that stuff will help. So join in May. When we're speaking right now, it's September, and I guess tell the audience a little bit. What if how many cards have you bought? Maybe give a story about how much money you've made on a card, go for it. Kind of tell the audience about the money situation. If you're enjoying the content of the video and want to learn how to make a side income with sports cards, I spent the past 3 months putting together a training to show you exactly how it's done in detail. Sports cards has allowed me to live a life beyond my wildest imagination, and I'm thankful for the hobby every single day. That is the reason I teach sports cards, and I am so passionate about it. At the end of the training, we offer a paid program where you can work closer with me. However, I don't want you joining until you've watched the free training I put together. It will show you exactly what's inside the program and how to make money with sports cards, and from there, you can make an educated decision. So if you'd like to sign up for the free training, either scan the QR code on the screen or text Eric to 631-544-7005 or click the link in the description. Just to repeat it, you can either scan the QR code or text Eric to 631-544-7005 or click the link in the description. Now let's get back to the video.
So like I said, I've been a part of the program since May. I've been really buying. I've loved the process, loved learning the process. So far I've bought about probably close to around 130 cards. I've spent probably 4,500. I'm expecting at least a 50% return profit wise. With leading into my most profitable card that I actually got back not too long ago, which was a Brock Purdy Optic Auto Teal, which I consigned with Matt. That came back at 10, which was awesome. And I was able to turn a $380 trade value into we sold it for over $1,000. So I made a nice little chunk of change with that one.
Sweet. Yeah, it's always nice when you don't have to do much and you just make money with the
Matt's,
card. So
that's a lifesaver when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's nice to just be able to kind of do it remotely and not have to touch a lot of the cards. But cool. And what do you think is from joining the program and now you've been doing it for a little bit, what do you think is the biggest surprise? What's the biggest surprise about sports cards that you did not expect?
Honestly, the biggest surprise I'd have to say that I've gotten from this is that it's not as hard or intimidating as it looks or seems. Like once you get the ball rolling and you watch the videos and you start talking to your coaches and start sending him cards and everything, you start to realize and you start to believe in yourself. You start to realize that you can do this. I can make this a career. I can use this to get out of my day job and make this a full-time gig. Be a card man on wheels, essentially.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And so you kind of led me into my next question. Where do you see this going for yourself specifically? What's the goal?
The goal is to do this full time. The goal is to be like you. Honestly, I would love to travel to card shows. I would love to eventually go to the nationals. I know that Burbank just had a card show in California. I would love to eventually go to that one. I would love to make more connections. Meet more people in the hobby. I've done a decent job of meeting a lot of local card people, card stores and card show people here in Tampa, Florida. But I would love to like broaden it out. I would love to start a YouTube page. I would love to travel, meet more people, build connections, make it a real life-changing thing.
Yeah, and 100%. How far you think you're out from accomplishing those goals?
Oh, hopefully not too far. Not at all too far. I feel like I'm getting a really good hang of it. I'm starting to get a lot of positive feedback from Matt in regards of the cards that I'm sending to him are being a lot better from when I first started. So
Yeah,
once you start like sending it to him, it can get a little like slightly encouraging when it's like, oh, I have to consign it, but like you take it in stride, like it's a learning lesson. It's like just like any other business. You're not going to wake up one day and it's going to be $1 million company. You
yeah.
gotta be willing to take your bumps, your licks and strides. And I think I've done a good job. And I think I'm starting to see the benefits of it. As like I said, I'm starting to send more cards to Matt, and I'm starting to see that more going out for grading, more good for grading, which is always a great feeling when you can invest in yourself and see the fruit of your labor, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. It's always a learning curve. Like the more you do it, the better you get, the more money you have. Now you get like it just like compounds everything, like the skills, the money, and like you get better and better and better as time goes on. So yeah, you're 100% right with that. And then last question I'll ask you is, if you had to tell yourself, let's say you started in May, if you had to tell yourself one thing back then, like yourself right now could tell yourself something back then, what would you tell yourself, like in terms of advice?
I would say be more confident, jump in faster. I was a little timid when I first started, like I felt like I let a couple good cards kind of just slide by because I was a little nervous. I didn't want to lose money, of course, and everything. But like, again, once you like start building that confidence and start going, you start realizing that like I can do this and I'm going to do it. And it's like I said, it starts to feel really good. You start getting cards back, you start building a nice collection. You start making good money. And once you start making good money, you have more opportunities to reinvest in yourself. And as I'm starting to do now, as I started with the $50, $60, $75 cards, well, now I'm starting to make a little money. So now I'm starting to invest in like slightly more expensive cards to make a heftier, more return, scale my business a little more. And I feel like getting some of these bigger cards also helps build a brand, like with Instagram and Facebook. It's nice to have inventory, but it's also nice to have those wow cards that bring in followers and lookers that people want to do business with you because you have something that everyone kind of wants.
Yeah, that was very well put. Well, Jay, I appreciate it, man. Keep crushing. Hopefully we'll do another one of these calls in like 4 or 5 months when you've made even more money, man.
Sounds good. I appreciate time. And I would like to, if it's okay with you, I'd also like to take time to thank you and everyone at MLP for the opportunity and for giving me the chance to learn a new trait and do something that brings me joy, like how baseball did. It kind of gives me that feeling of keeping a foot in the door with sports. So it's nice to like still kind of feel like I didn't really retire because I still get to kind of play with the sports in the hobby. And it's also kind of fun because, you get to see a couple of your friends who you played with and everything. So honestly, I'd like to thank you guys for the opportunity and for making me a great cardsman.
Hey, man, that means a lot. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.